Okay, so we're recording. Hi, I'm Carlos. This is my friend Tavius Smiley Talbot. Go ahead. You
Yeah,
can go ahead and
call,
introduce yourself.
call me Smiley.
Yep. And call me Carlos. And today we're going to be talking about One Piece, the greatest of all time, the pinnacle of art and literature. And we got a list of things to say, and we have little time, so we're just going to jump right in.
All
Take it
right.
away.
So one of the first things we wanted to talk about was just the episode animation and just how good One Piece has gotten when it comes to animating these things. Because although all we really had was Odin and the nine samurais slashing at shadows, can I admit that it still was cool as fuck?
Yeah, you can still admit that it was cool as fuck. And one thing that really surprised me, right now we're specifically talking about episode 972, but that chapter in the manga, uh, it was not. It was a great moment in the manga, but it was actually not one of the. I wouldn't call it one of the peak moments of the Act Three of Wano. So I'm really surprised that they've been dedicating a lot of time and effort into the animation, even on parts of the series that are not necessarily the highest peaks. So it really gives me hope moving forward. We're going to get some really good things on the next few episodes, which are probably my favorite parts of Act 3. Well, until, spoilers into the manga, the rooftop battle and stuff.
To hop on your point about them putting so much effort into the non climactic moments, I think that just goes to show that One Piece, especially in the Wano arc, just has so many different peaks. Like even from the beginning, when Luffy first saw Zoro and they fought Hawkins, it's like, wow, what's gonna happen? This is exciting. All the way to Luffy fighting Kaido drunk and getting locked in prison, Big Mom showing up. It was just a whole lot of peaks going on, and it just tells you there's so much more to Wano because we have yet to reach the climax.
Yeah, I
So
agree. I agree. I think Oda and Toei have been on their game, and even with all the restriction of, Toei has a lot of restrictions. Sometimes they can only animate about 12 manga pages. I think they've been doing a great job even on the on what on how they deal with the extended sequences or like the filler sequences that they need to add. So yeah, I don't know. I only have nice things to say. Shout out to them.
yeah, same. But I do got one comment, but we can talk about that at this point because I also wanted to talk about the difference between the anime and the manga. So I'll let you go first.
Yeah, so the first difference or the largest difference for me was, well, there's two differences within this battle. The first one is that King and Queen do not show up in the manga that I remember, so that they don't really appear. They do appear on the episode, which makes sense because for anime watchers they have seen them. It gives Toei opportunity to add some filler sequences that for extend for 10 or 20 seconds. And but yeah, they were not in the manga in this battle, so that was kind of surprising to me. I hope it doesn't create any continuity problems for the anime. Not it, of course, won't create continuity problems in the manga. If he 20 chapters for now, Kaido says some shit like, "Yeah, King joined 3 years ago," then it's gonna
I see
be
what you're saying. Oda's a very careful man, so I think that'll be fine. But so two things that I noticed, the differences I noticed. The first one
Mhm.
is the fight between Kaido and Odin. Now, of course, the manga is still images and the anime is live action, and it could be argued that the anime is filling in the gaps because after after Odin sliced Kaido in the manga, he then went to another attack where he then saw that they had his son, and at this point, Kaido hits him upside the head, and Kaido's in his regular form.
Yeah.
So it's also possible that the gaps were filled in and the anime is definitely source material,
Yeah.
but the difference is just ridiculous because in the manga it looked like Kaido was going on a shirt, like
Yeah.
no question about it. But the anime left a little bit of room because as we haven't even seen Kaido's hybrid form. So
Yeah.
was Kaido even going all out? Did he have more in the tank?
Yeah.
And one more thing that is kind of annoying me with the animation difference in the manga is when it's animated. I feel as though they are conveniently making Kaido the size that they want to make Kaido, and that's pretty upsetting because one of the most epic parts of Kaido's introduction was his gigantic size. How is Luffy going to counteract this gigantic size? But it's looking like there's going to be some cheat codes where they just make Kaido small.
So I don't remember how large, because Odin is really large too. Because I think Kinemon is like 9 feet. I think Odin is like twice that, so it's like 18 feet. But Kaido is like 30 feet tall.
Yeah, Kaido's in his introduction, you can really see Kid, Hawkins, and Apu really just staring up into the sky as he towers over them. It was almost giant size. Kinmon isn't that much taller than them. Odin isn't that much taller than Kinmon. This Kaido comparison with this Kaido size from his introduction to how he's shown now, it's just one thing that's throwing me off.
Yeah, I think I know there's some issues in the manga too, but yeah, I think the anime does take the liberty with the character sizes. I strictly remember Kinemon because I know he should be like 9 feet tall, and in some instances they put him up next to Zoro or I don't know Izo or something like that. That should be like 6 feet tall or 5'10", which is Zoro, and they almost reach his shoulder, which is like
vice captain. We'll give him 6 feet. We'll give him 6 feet.
We'll give him 6 feet. That's what 5'10" persons would say. I'm 6 feet. But yeah, they Zoro will reach Kinemon's shoulder or something like that, which doesn't make sense because Kinemon's almost like a basketball hoop feet tall.
Yeah.
And I agree. I think in the manga sometimes the way that Oda draws, like you'll be looking at Kaido from behind Odin, so Odin should be closer. But then when the animation in the anime comes in the action sequences, they don't present it the same way. So that part of the relative distance, I think it might just be harder to do. I'm not an animator, but
you're right.
But anyway, I'm not trying to defend him or anything. I totally agree with the fact that
it's very challenging, and overall in One Piece, it hasn't really affected the story that much. It's only making me upset in this situation because Kaido's size was so important to Kaido's introduction. Because it was just going through all of our minds. How is Luffy going to overcome this? So,
yeah, to me, small tangent, but I just remember from our conversation when the manga was at this point. So when the chapter that is currently being animated was released, a lot of people were debating, or I think a lot of people were talking smack on Kaido. Like Kaido cut him, Moria faced them, something like that. Like they were belittling him and how overpowered he is. Of course, that has been since fixed in the close to 1,000, the chapters from 990 to 1010, which we have now seen more of Kaido's mights. And I think I wonder. So it makes me wonder. Also, the people from the anime were, they're up to date with the manga, and they think like, well, it's hard to, maybe we shouldn't show Kaido being overpowered by Odin because we still know because of the manga that he'll have other forms and shit like that, or just like other dragon powers. I'm not sure.
If only we can peep inside the mind of Odin. Not Odin. Odin. My apologies.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to be inside Oda's mind. I also sometimes I wonder. I know he's involved in the anime, but I mean, he just like the working on the manga takes him like so many hours a day. I don't know. I don't really know how much involved he can be with the anime. I think they have to cross check some certain things to make sure that they don't like screw up. Like continuity stuff. But yeah, I would really like to be, behind the inner workings. I saw a video of one animator once. If I find it, I'll send it to you. But it was I found it interesting how they have some liberty to make the animation better. So I also think that the animators that are recently being hired, I think a new batch of people who are very into One Piece have also been taking up the mantle of key animators and stuff like that, which has also made Wano improve upon Whole Cake Island, which improved over Dressrosa. Not that those were bad, but in terms of animation, it's been in an upward curve ever since the post time skip. So
yeah, we definitely like upward curves over here. But just so our first video doesn't go long, let's cut it here. This is definitely gonna be exciting next 2 weeks. Odin, Mr. I Was Born to Boil, and then the 9 samurai raiding the castle to save Momo and be sent to the future. There's a lot of good stuff to look forward to, and we're also going to discuss the manga too. So next week our video should be a little longer. So, press pause, bro.